This is Josiah Plays Game Design, as I am working on creating my own RPG. So now that we have all the basic skills that he kind of has to have, what I do is I look through the list, which is not well organized, unfortunately. Like, you'd think either it would be alphabetical, or you'd think at least all the combat skills and magic skills and social skills would be together, but they're not. This skill list is literally just written down in the order that I thought of the skills. So it's no organization here whatsoever. And I look for other skills that the Warlord Sodality would require that are not already covered by the magics and stuff. So, like, he should have Persuade, but he's got it. He should have Argue, but he's got it. He should have Charm, but he's already got it. He should have Coerce. I don't think he has Coerce. He doesn't need Deceive. He needs Read Person, but he's got it. Or she. Could be she. Inspire Emotion, has it. Notice. Discern Detail. Intuit. Well, oh boy, no, nothing's gonna be called Quen. And like I said earlier, you could make magical barriers with a lot of different magics. You could use earth magic, you could use air magic, you could use water magic, you could use force magic. The one that would create something most like actual Quen would be force magic, which is one of the magics that the spell sword gets. Nothing is going to be named Quen. Nothing. So as I go through here, I think, does the Warlord need this skill? And a lot of them, the answer is no. I think he needs Maintain Exertion, though. He's got to be able to keep up with the troops. I think he needs Recall. Recall is a skill you use for knowledge type checks. You've got your knowledges, which are separate from your skills, and those just say what things your character knows about. And then you you actually use them with the Analyze skill or the Recall skill. Spell Sword of Quen. There's no Quen. I can't do it. I can't. It's copyright infringement on The Witcher. I can't. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I can't step on their intellectual property. He definitely needs Preserve Equanimity. The Warlord's got to keep his cool. He's got weapon skills already covered. No, something like Dancer of Mind would just fall under Bard as well. Because there's the skill that you use for any of that is called Perform. And you can use Perform for any of those kinds of performances. You'll know I really mean Quen. No, I don't. No, I don't. Does he have Overcome Malady? Because he's probably going to need that. He's got Survive Wilderness. Does he have Treat Ailment? Does he have Practice? Definitely needs some practice. Yeah, he has Practice. Okay. He has Handle Beast. Does he have Craft Item? He's got to be able to keep his shit repaired. Withstand injury. Definitely gonna need that. He's got resist sorcery already. Does he have parry and dodge? He's got parry. He needs dodge. I'd say the Warlord needs recognize magic as well. And instruct. Who besides the Bard have perform? Well, I mean, some other classes have perform, but I don't think anyone except for the Bard actually, because among these things that are required, there's 3 skills that are required to be at level 2, at expert rank, to be that sodality. They're like the 3 most important skills for that sodality. And the Bard one definitely has perform as one of those 3 skills. But a lot of other people have perform as a skill, well, maybe not a lot, but some, because perform is one of the required skills for at least one of the magics. For dream magic. Dream magic is just how I say illusion magic, pretty much. Dream magic is how you make illusions. You have to have perform for that. So any class, any sodality that has dream magic well, yeah, you start with a good chunk of the skills at level 1. You start with, you'll have 42 skills total when you start your character out of 60 skills. So really, you're only gonna have to pick 18 that you don't know how to do. So anybody with dream magic has perform. The thief. The Scion Mentalist Illusionist. Actually, I think dream magic is one of the most or least represented magics out of all of these. The Shaman has dream magic as well. And the Bard, of course. That's it, actually. What is that, 4? Only 4 of them have dream magic. But one of the races has a thing with perform. Like, anybody who's this race is probably going to want perform. It's the race of the race of family, again, not their name. They're a nomadic group that's really into family, and they all see themselves as one big family and all that, and they have animals. They like animals. So they have tons of animals with them. And they're kind of pacifists. Not complete pacifists, but they try to avoid violence if at all possible. But if they're under attack, they let their animals defend them. And so they have one of their special racial abilities is Song of Serenity. While they're playing or singing music, as long as you haven't attacked somebody, beasts cannot attack them at all. And humans can only attack if you succeed on an opposed concentrate against your Inspire Emotion roll. So basically, they can sit there and play music, and anything that's not a human just cannot attack them, straight up. As long as they keep playing music. And even humans have to beat them on an opposed roll, and their Inspire Emotion is one of their racial advantaged skills, and Presence is their racial advantaged stat, which is the one that goes into that. So in other words, they're going to be really good at this. So they can keep themselves safe. And then they have Calling and Beast as their favored magic. So if you're that race, you're going to be all about having animals and summoning animals and summoning, well, they don't have to be animals, any kind of creatures, any kind of beasts, and using them to fight for you while you sit back and play music and are completely untouchable. See, that, so when you think about it, perform, that's kind of useful. But then, you think about it, like with this race, for example, because you can use one skill check to enhance another skill check. Certain actions in the game may require more than one skill check. And if you do well on the one, it enhances. So you can use perform to enhance Inspire Emotion, for example. If you succeed on the perform roll, you get a bonus to the Inspire Emotion roll. And so forth. Yeah, they are kind of gypsy-like, but there's another race that they're tied to, which is the race of freedom. They're also nomadic. They're more like what you would typically refer to as gypsies, because they're like distrusted, and they're like really good at deceiving people and sneaking and stuff like that. They're canny merchants. But the thing is, they're not actually thieves. By their own cultural sort of rules, they never steal. They never take something. But what they do is just try to wheedle. They try to wheel and deal and trick people into willingly making deals with them that will work out for their favor and not the other person's favor. So they'll try to cheat you, but they won't steal from you per se. You don't have to worry about them picking your pocket or breaking into your house or anything. So like, as long as you don't make deals with them, you're safe. You know that, well, I mean, again, this is just their culture. Obviously, any particular individual could choose to be any way they want, but their culture highly values these things. So they're the two nomadic races. And they used to be one race originally, and these two split off from each other. And that's why they're the two with really weird skin colors, and they're the really short and really tall races. Alright, so we're almost done here with this part. This is so not organized. I have to scroll up and down to try to find whatever the hell I'm looking for. Alright, so yeah, so now what I have to do, now that I have all these skills in there, I have to count them. Because I can only have so many skills here. Because the starting characters can only have 42 at max. So I'm capping these at 39. No matter how many skills I write down here, if they have more than 39, I trim some of them out. So that at most, if you choose a sodality, you're choosing at most 39. So some of them have much less. Scout only has 33. So that you have a few points. Priest only has 31. So if you chose a priest, you'd get these 31 skills, and then you'd still have 11 more skills you could pick besides that. Whereas if you pick certain ones, like Demon Hunter / Avenger, that takes up 39, so you'd only get to pick 3 more skills beside that. There's no cat people. There's no cat people. Alright, Sato, have a good night. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you next time. We'll see you later. May you have pleasant dreams of Quen. So I have to count these now, is what the next step. $18, 20, 21. It's 40. So I have to get rid of one. I don't have to, but I'm sticking with my 39 rule, so I'm gonna get rid of one. Which one do they really don't actually need that much? I would say they don't actually need recall as badly as anything else. And then what I do is I pick. Oh, I didn't choose for the Weird Jack. I think that's the name I like. These are the ones who specialize in sailing on the flying weird ships that go between Scintillae. I have to choose 3 skills here to make a requirement of 2 on. So what's the most important stuff for them? I would say... climb. Because they gotta be able to climb the rigging and stuff. Actually, is there even gonna be rigging? Yeah, because the weird has wins. Remembering famous battles is what we're... I was thinking that. That's the whole reason I put recall down there. Was for that aspect. You have a good point, though. I think they need balance. And I don't know. Lift, push. I'll make it accomplished feat. Give him something at least that's more useful. So that one's done. This one here. Warlord Commander is definitely gonna need Inspire Emotion. And he's definitely gonna need... Oh, he's already got recall. I don't know why I tried to give him recall a second time. He's gonna need analyze. For assessing the battlefield and coming up with strategy. And I would say... Gonna need coerce. Strong stomach. What? So then we have two more. The Warlock / Occultist. Has fire magic. So I always associate fire with warlocks. Mind magic. Shadow magic. Death magic. Have we doubled up on any of these? No. Entropy magic. Break object. Coerce, push, discern detail. Oh, he's already got coerce. And break object. And calling magic. Just like summoning and stuff. Sailors need strong stomachs so they don't throw up for motion and shitty ship food. Indeed. And that is why they have overcome malady and endure hardship. Between those two, they should be able to handle anything. Discerning details. Calling. Again with coerce and persuade. Has he already got persuade? No. Charm and handle beast. All the magics. Actually, he doesn't need accomplished feat. He's not really going to be doing feats, he's just going to be doing spells. We can take that out. Alright, what do we want our warlock to have that he doesn't already have? Doesn't need to argue, he's got persuade, he's got charm, he's got coerce. He's got deceive. Does he have read person? I think he should have read person. Yeah, sailing, being a sailor would be pretty hard. Pretty hard. Does he have inspire emotion? No. He doesn't need any of these. Does he have intuit? He doesn't need any of that. Hey, walls and walls of text. What's up, Moomba? How you doing? Yeah, I'm working on a pen and paper RPG here, so it's like possibly the least exciting thing I could possibly be doing on a stream. Because it is just a bunch of text. It's not even anything cool. I think he needs study. Has he got study? He's got study. He definitely needs preserve equanimity as a warlock. He doesn't need any of that. Does he have overcome malady? I think he needs it. He's got it. He's got evoke desire, right? The peon class who will pitchfork your issues away? Me not that kind of orc. Work is da poop. Work's done. Probably screwed that up. I'm a peon class in real life. That's me. Peon. I think I'll give him treat ailment. Oh, he's already got it. He's got craft item. I want to make some, like, potions or something. Alright, that's all he's gonna get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And what are his super important ones? Well, his are going to be a little more spell casting based. I think he's going to cast a spell. That too. I think he's going to focus energy. And I think he's going to evoke desire. There's only one more. Skills: shovel pig shit, shovel cow shit, shovel chicken shit, endure servitude. Those are some very specific shoveling skills. I think that could all be rolled into shovel shit. The thing is, in my game, for example, there's things that there's no skill for, because they don't need a skill check, right? So that's why there is no shovel shit skill. Because you don't need to make a skill check to shovel shit. You can just do it. Now, if you want to do it for a long period of time, without getting tired, you'd have to maintain exertion. And if you're really doing it for a long time, then it would get into endure hardship, but... under the hot sun with no water. Alright, finally my thaumaturs. This might be my favorite class. It's at the very end. Well, they're not classes, they're sodalities, but my favorite one, I think, might be thaumaturge. It has all opposites. Life, death, light, shadow, creation, entropy. It's like the invoker, the miracle worker. Ignore the smell of the shit, or getting the full pleasure of the smell to gagging reflex. What? Who would have full pleasure of the smell of shit? I don't understand. Life and death, by the way, interestingly enough, have the same exact requirements. They have the same requirements. An angry space orc. Alright, that's reasonable. That is reasonable. Right. No one said you're normal? Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us made that mistake, Moomba. Is Brad streaming yet, or still not? There are always shit elementals and shit golems. Yeah. See, most things you do with magic in this are pretty temporary. They're just an effect you create for a moment. You can concentrate on something and sustain it, but it's not easy to keep concentrating on something for a really long time. So, to make something that's like a permanent effect, or create something that's permanent, requires a lot more effort and time. He's still not around? When was the last time he streamed? He was streaming earlier today, like when I got out of bed, I think he was streaming. Shadow, creation, and entropy. Got analyzed twice. He streamed for a bit, then said, oh, his PC was too hot. Why is his PC overheating? It never did before. He was just playing Battlegrounds, right? Permanent magic through human sacrifice? Well, there is going to be rules for ritual magic, yes. Where you know, combine with other people, or you do a much more long-form type of magic to do more powerful things to make it easier. And something like sacrifice is probably going to be an option. It was over 7 hours ago? Blood magic. What classes do you have? I have a lot. Well, technically it's a classless system. You can just create your character however you want with whatever skills and magic you want, and you don't have to be part of any... What I have are these things called sodalities, which are like classes, but you don't have to have one. You can just do whatever you want instead. There's a million of them. Well, there's not a million, there's 29. Thief, Druid, Elementalist, Crafter, Fighter, Paladin, Wizard, Archer, Defender, Necromancer, Scion, Priest, Assassin, Transmuter, Monk, Demon Hunter, Ranger, Mageblade, Alchemist, Barbarian, Cavalier, Dominator, Bard, Shaman, Scout, Weird Sailor, Warlord, Warlock, Thaumaturge. There's no techno mages or nano mages because there's no technology in this. It's very primitive time period. They don't even have stuff like crossbows or siege weapons. When did siege weapons get invented? Like the earliest siege weapons, like the earliest catapults or whatever. I assume they didn't have those in like the time of ancient Babylon and that sort of time period, right? Well, it's not like Stone Age. It's not like Primal. I mean, there is a lot of people that still live in tribes in the world, but there are also city-states, kind of like ancient like Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, ancient Babylon kind of time. You know, where they're building like ziggurats and stuff, and yeah, BC definitely. Like a couple thousand BC probably. Oh, you think about 429 BC for siege weapons? Interesting. Does beast magic work on microbes? I don't think so. I don't think there are microbes. Because this world is not made of science. It's not made of actual physics and actual chemicals. This world is an illusion. It's made of belief. It's made of magic, so to speak. So there really is no... Like, you're not really breathing oxygen per se. You're just breathing because you think you need to breathe. The Spartans used battering rams, sure. I mean, a battering ram is really low tech. They could have had a battering ram anytime. But I mean, like, siege engines that are actually machines in some respect. That require a greater knowledge of physics and, like, you know, trebuchets or catapults or ballista. Contagion. Yeah, I guess death magic does allow you to, like, disease someone or whatever. But basically in this world, you can do anything you believe you can do. But the problem is, everybody is essentially like under a spell from God or the One, a spell that they can't break, that makes them believe they really can't do shit. That makes them believe that death is real. That makes them believe that their injuries are real. That makes them believe that gravity is real. And only to the smallest degree can a person who has magic learn to slightly believe outside of that and able to create fantastic effects that break the laws of the illusion that everyone's under by tapping into, you know, the primal magical force of creation. I guess it's kind of like the Matrix, right? With Neo. You think that's air you're breathing now? Maybe that'd be a cool twist on my whole setting. What if everyone is just actually a brain in a fucking jar? And this whole thing is just a made up fake, you know, simulation that everyone's inside of. Who knows? I mean, it's been done, so I'd have to put some kind of other twist on it to make it a little more unique, but ancient China, 4th to 3rd century BC, using siege artillery. So that goes back a pretty long way. But the time periods I'm talking about are way, way before that, though. I mean, what's the time period on the Babylonian Empire? Or, you know, the earliest part of ancient Egypt Empire, and like the earliest part of Greece, ancient Greece. Believe I can have a plasma machine gun and mini nuke grenades. Yeah, well, if you could actually believe it, then you would have it, but you can't. Because you are beholden to the illusion. Although there's no reason why somebody couldn't create magical things which are equivalently like that. You could combine creation magic and like fire magic and earth magic and make like a device that fires blasts of fire out of it. And if you were willing to work on it hard enough and long enough, you could make it like a permanent thing and basically create a plasma gun, hypothetically. But it would be very hard. It's not something a starting character would be able to do because the difficulties would be too high. But if you really focused up on those particular skills and magics over the course of your career, eventually, yeah, you could do it. Babylonia briefly became the major power in the region after Hammurabi, 1792 to 1752 BC. Okay. See, I thought Hammurabi was a lot further back than that, but I guess I'm wrong. Alright, what are we doing here? Break object. Discern detail. Craft item. Entropy. Force and push. Maybe early 200 BC. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like 2 to 3,000 BC. But I'd have to like look into... I mean, you know, it's not an actual real-world historical setting, so it doesn't have to be accurate to any real-world historical time period. But it'd be a good idea to kind of take a look at some of those time periods and see which one had... Trebuchet was Middle Ages. Yeah, that came quite a bit later. What about just a crossbow? When did they invent the crossbow? Alright, then he's gonna need all of these except for accomplished feat. And he doesn't need resist sorcery either because he's already got it. The Thaumaturge. It's not clear exactly where and when the crossbow originated. It's believed to have been invented in Europe and China around 6th to 5th century BC. What? Really? That old? Oh, I would have thought the crossbow was AD. Man. Repeating crossbow, 181 to 234 AD. Wow. I'm surprised. I would have thought a repeating crossbow would be like almost near the Renaissance time. I guess I'm not giving humans enough credit for their inventions. I was like, those primitive savages of the 2nd century AD couldn't possibly have thought of such a thing. Ballista 399 BC? Wow. Again, I am so surprised it was that early. Man, those ancient people knew some shit. They invented stuff better than I thought they did. Let's see, does he have Persuade? No. Have Argue. Does he have Charm? Does he have Deceive? He does, right? Yeah. I don't think he has Read Person. Catapult was 1st century BC. Wow. You think about it, that long ago, like how did they build those things with the primitive tools and stuff that they had at the time? Does he have Notice? No. Certain Detail? Yes. Intuit? Doesn't have Intuit. It does have Intuit. And Analyze. Okay. You have Intuit? Yeah, he does. You have Recall. Study. And Preserve. Equanimity. Although, it's kind of crazy when you think about the technology that we have now for war, how far it's come in just, you know, a few hundred years. Well, wouldn't being in a war state lead you to develop those war technologies even more? Necessity is the mother of invention and all that. Does he have Overcome Malady? Yeah. You have Treat Ailment, yeah. Handle Beast. Crossbow was meant to take down armored knights. And did it work? I mean, how good... Again, if somebody was in, like, a full suit of plate armor, could a crossbow bolt actually punch through that? I suppose it did. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Perfect. Well, what are his top three? His top three. Are going to be treat ailment. Cast spell and fortify spirit. Most exciting stream you could possibly be watching right now. What has Priest got? Okay. Meditate. There were no armored knights in ancient Rome. Well, they had some kind of armor, though. I mean, I thought the way bows and arrows were actually used in warfare back then was they just launched volleys of arrows and just hoped for the best, right? I mean, they weren't really aiming at, like, you said aiming at weak points, but I thought they would just sort of launch volleys and then the volleys would kind of rain down on the other army and you just hope some of them would do some damage. Crossbow could also go through the shield and get stuck. I mean, at some point Romans had, like, metal breastplates, didn't they? See, I'm thinking... This is a pretty cool song. Trying to think of this. Was it the Hittites? I don't know if the Hittites are the ones I'm thinking of. There was one culture back then in, like, the ancient Middle East area that Assyrians! The Assyrians is who I'm thinking of. The Assyrians. So the Assyrians were from way the fuck back. 25th century BC until 600 BC. Yeah, so somewhere in there is kind of what I'm thinking of. The Assyrians, the I remember learning about them a little bit in history class that I took, and basically the teacher told me they were badasses. They were really warlike and were like kicking everyone else's ass around them for a while. What is this? Yeah, now this is metal, right? What kind of metal is it? Did they have steel yet at that time? They didn't have steel, did they? This had to have just been like iron. That's a big shield, though. It is steel. When did we start using steel? Well, I finished my thing, so now what I'm going to do is come up here and take a look at my list of things I still need to do. Well, I can do a combat resolution breakdown. That should be easy enough. On Dynasty, 202 BC to 220 AD, created steel. So when did it spread to the west? What's my thing about the action points? Here. Good old steel. You have magic skills for it like you have for weapons? Not per se. I mean, there's no magic skill based specifically on armor. But like if you wanted to enhance your armor magically, you'd use creation, or you'd use whatever the armor's made out of. What's up, Battlemaster? How's it going? Romans used steel, even the Greeks under Alexander before that. Yeah, but when did the Romans start using steel is the question. Now we're going to put this into steps here. First thing that happens, optional. The attacker can use assess opponent or aim. So you don't have to do this, but doing it gives you a bonus. and it takes another one of your action points. Basically like doing an aimed shot. In a game that's got like, you know, like in Fallout or something, if you've got like, oh, it's 4 action points to stab him, or 5 action points to stab him with an aimed shot. It's like that, essentially. So at that point, the attacker actually makes his attack roll. You don't have to aim magical attacks like that because you can't miss with magical attacks. Unless you fail to cast a spell. But there's a whole system in place for things you can do for your spells to improve them, just like aiming. You're just not literally aiming. You're focusing energy and doing gestures and incants, and again, those things are optional, but if you do them, it makes your spell take longer to cast, but it gives you a better chance of succeeding at the spell. Then they can try to resist the spell if they have resist sorcery, and any resist sorcery bonus left that they haven't used that round, they can try to resist it. But you're not going to miss with a fireball or a purely magical attack. You're either going to fail to cast it, or it's going to be resisted, or it's going to work. I don't think I'm going to do any hit locations with specific body parts. I haven't decided yet. I might, but I don't think I'm going to. The combat's already going to be fairly complex as it is. I don't want to add another whole layer of complexity and bookkeeping. But I might change my mind, because I like the idea of it in theory. I think the Romans started using it widely somewhere around 20 BC. Steel, wow. I never would have thought people had steel in BC. I always thought steel came along after the time of Christ. 1800 BC there was a steel blade? Come on. No way. That can't be true. 1800? They didn't even have iron then, did they? What? You said the Han Dynasty in 200 BC created steel. Alright, I'm going to end this episode, but I'm not done streaming. I'm going to keep plugging away at this for a little while longer. Probably go for another hour, but if you're watching on YouTube, I don't know why. This has got to be the most boring YouTube video, but if you are, thanks for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Game Design.